Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a full review of the Chromecast with Google TV. So don't change the channel. I'm just going to roll the intro and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. If you haven't already checked out thenerdcircle.com, make sure to head over there and check it out. Also make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Nerd Circle. Alright guys, so to get into today's video, to really just decide if it's the best device for you. So it really depends on what you consider to be the best. If you want the cheapest device that does the most, best bang for your buck if you will, then of course this is a good contender. There are a few other devices out there in the price range that do offer a lot of the same specs and pretty much the same form and fashion. But if you want something that can do it all and price isn't an issue, then this might not be the device for you. Alright guys, so just to break it down, this is going to come in at a $50 price point, which with all the different streaming options that are out there, is a very good price point, especially for what it does. There is no shortage of apps on this thing, so if you want to have something that has the most apps, this is a great device to have. If you want something that almost does it all, this is a great device to have. For the $50 price point, to have almost all the apps that you can think of, it's definitely a great device to have. There are a few shortcomings though. I have noticed that every so often it can be a bit sluggish. Sometimes you try to go into an app and it just loads and loads and loads, but I've also experienced the same thing with some of the other $50 devices. So I really don't know if I can fault this device itself. I've also played around with to see if it's Wi-Fi connections and or Ethernet connections. I tend to have more of the issues on Wi-Fi, but none of the other devices in the house that are further, if not the same distance from the router, don't have any of the issues that this keeps popping up with. Every so often we'll get some issues where it pops up and says Wi-Fi connected, and a few seconds later Wi-Fi connected, and it kind of just does that over and over and over again. So although it never really lost the Wi-Fi connection, it keeps thinking it does. Sometimes it also says Wi-Fi disconnected or Wi-Fi connected no internet, and sometimes just restarting the device will kind of alleviate those issues. Other times it doesn't alleviate it. Sometimes it can become quite a headache and it makes us use another device that we have. But if you don't have those issues, this may be the perfect device for you. I wouldn't really say it's a shortcoming, but it doesn't have Apple TV. If you need Apple TV, for the time being at least, you're going to have to look elsewhere. You can look at a Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or of course you can go with the Apple TV device itself. So for now, this does not get Apple shows, unfortunately, but that is really one of the few apps that you can't get on this device. So with that being said, I will say if it's not the best device, it's very, very close. Now, it doesn't have a lot of storage to the device, so if you want to have a whole bunch of apps on there, you're going to have to utilize the USB-C port and get an adapter that has full-size USB ports on there for you to be able to either plug in an external hard drive or a flash drive of sorts to be able to expand that storage, because it just doesn't give you a whole lot. I haven't really run into the issue where it's run out of storage because I don't fill it up with apps. But if you do want to have a whole bunch of apps available to it, you're going to have to look at expanding that storage. But that's the good thing, is that you can get the adapters or the dongles that you can have extra USB ports, still charge it, and have those ports as well. So you can look into those devices. They range depending on what you're looking to get, but roughly around $15 for one of those devices. It also gives you the ability to plug in a keyboard and mouse if you so needed to for whatever reason, and if you needed to like plug in a controller for gaming. That does bring me to my next point, is that you can do some gaming on this device, and you can do like cloud gaming and things like that. They do have the apps available to it, but it's not the best gaming experience. It is a bit laggy, it is a bit slow, so I wouldn't really go trying to stream your games on this device. It's just really not 100% there yet. Now, they haven't released the Stadia for this just yet. It is coming in the coming year here, and when they release that, maybe they're going to put out some updates and some tweaks to maybe improve the reliability of it when you are running Stadia. Who knows how that's going to go? Maybe we'll see some improvements at that point. For now, if you are a Stadia fan, you're going to have to stick with the Chromecast Ultra until they push Stadia over to the Chromecast with Google TV here. But it does have some limited gaming options. If you're really into gaming and you want to have a Google TV device that does the gaming, then there's other devices out there that are going to do it better, especially the NVIDIA Shield. I would look towards the NVIDIA Shield. It is going to be more expensive, but if you're going for something that can game and do everything else as well, then maybe the $50 price point just isn't a concern for you, and of course you spend more to get that device. But if you're looking for that $50 price point, then I think this is the ticket. Now, we will do some other head-to-heads with some of the other devices, such as the TiVo Stream 4K. They are very similar, but the UI is a little bit different. They have about the same applications and things to them. The internals, spec-wise, are a little bit different. Some are better here, some are better there. But we will do some head-to-heads in the future to kind of see which one reigns over each other. But for right now, I do think that this takes the cake a little bit, just a little bit, over TiVo, just because the look and feel of it tends to be a little bit better. But again, each one has its pros and cons. Let's go ahead and jump into the UI so you can kind of see how that looks and see if anything's changed since the last video that we made. We're going to go ahead and jump over there now and check that out. But let's take a look here. Now, not much has changed since the last video I made about it here. But of course, over across the top, you do have your search, For You, movies, shows, apps, and library. So that's all pretty much the same, but it's just got a very clean interface. It's very easy to use. As you go down here, you got all your different top picks here. It does learn what you like over time and does suggest stuff to you, of course. You have your apps, and just everything just looks nice and clean and pops. Just a very clean interface. Of course, you got continue watching, and as you scroll down, of course, you got other things trending on Google, sci-fi, shows about patients. So it really tries to put everything that you're into front and center here, and it just makes it very easy to find stuff and very clean looking. I mean, the lists go on. I'm not going to go through everything. But that's For You there. And of course, you can go through movies and look at particular movies here. It shows you where those movies are. So such as HBO Max or Disney Plus, Tubi, shows you where things are. And then of course you got popular movies that you can rent. And some new movies. So I mean, it makes just finding all your content very easy, which I know is what the point of it is. But it makes the hard job of switching back and forth between applications when you have a bunch of different services here. It just makes it easy. And of course, same concept if you go over to shows. And of course, you can go to your apps, and it's going to suggest different apps to you based on what you like here. Of course, you got your apps bar again. You can go by different categories. But there's definitely no shortage of apps. Like I said, if you want to download all these apps, then you're going to have to expand the storage because there's not going to be enough to have everything here. But you can even get Nest on here so you can see your thermostats and your cameras and stuff like that. Like I said, you can do some gaming. So there's some of the game streaming services that you can do. It's just I wouldn't expect the best experience with it. Just know that it's not going to be the best experience, at least as of now. And of course, they're gonna give you all these other apps that you can get into. And then the library is going to be anything that you've purchased. You can see it in there. So just to point out, not that it's a deal breaker here, but they don't really put the Google Play Store as like an app that you can access out here. They try to kind of hide it, and I don't know if that's to make things easier or not. So as far as like apps updating, it's going to basically be auto update apps. And I mean, you can go in and try to find things here, and you can go to the Google Play Store. It just doesn't make it an easy task to find, whereas on some of these other devices, you can actually click the Google Play Store, and then you can look for your updates and things like that. But it's a little different here. So if you go to search, you can of course hit the little search button on your remote, and you can say Google Play Store. And it's going to open the Google Play Store, and up top you can do another search there. You can go to apps, you can go to games. So you can get to the Google Play Store. It's just a little bit different getting to it here. And then I believe if there is an update, when you click on an app, it would have the option for update there, but in my experience, it tends to just update things automatically, so I really don't have to do that very often. And then the other thing you could do is if you go into settings, you can go to apps. Of course, you can open the Google Play Store from there. You can go to see all apps. It will show you the version of the apps. I don't necessarily know that you can update it through here though. I think it would probably just be through the Play Store. So there are ways to access it. I don't know that it's really necessary to have the actual Play Store as an application out here, but just something to point out if that's of importance to you. Then you just may need to know that it's not fully there. But other than that, it's a great device. There's a lot of potential for it. I think the one downside is that it doesn't make live TV very easy. You can of course download some of the apps that offer live TV, and of course watch it through there. But on the TiVo Stream 4K, it does make it more intuitive for the live TV in there. So if you are someone who really likes the live TV, now if you have a special app that you like to use for that live TV, then maybe this will still work and be okay for you. But if you really want to have more of like a TV guide experience and have different live TV services in there, then the TiVo Stream 4K does do that a little bit better. It kind of goes both ways. If you like the TiVo Stream 4K for that aspect, you may or may not like the user interface of it. You may think this is a little cleaner looking, but some people may prefer the look and feel of the TiVo Stream 4K's interface versus this one. So it's just kind of a little bit of both depending on what you're actually looking for there. But this is definitely a great device to have, especially at that $50 price point. To have something that almost does it all is great. There's just a lot of great stuff here, a lot of great potential that they can update more and more going forward. Potentially, we will eventually probably get a version 2 of the device. So we'll kind of see how things go here. But if you haven't already, I'd say give it a shot, pick one up, try it out, let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and head back to the desk here and finish off some final thoughts. All right, guys, just a few final thoughts here. So the controller, it is very minimal. I think that there could have been a few extra buttons and things on it. I do kind of like the TiVo 4K controller a little bit better, but honestly, this isn't bad. It's, like I said, very minimal, but you have all the buttons you realistically need. So yeah, they could have thrown a few extra buttons and things on here, but it feels good in the hand. The weight is good. The buttons are laid out easily, and we haven't really had any issues besides the batteries they sent with it died really quickly. And we did put another set of batteries in that I feel also died really quickly, but we're on our third set of batteries now. I did go with a better brand of batteries this time around, so we're going to see if these ones die just as quick as the other sets did here, but hopefully they will not. But we will see. Maybe it is a battery hog, but time will tell going forward there. But other than that, I mean, the remote's okay. Nothing to write home about, but it works. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this full review. Hopefully it sheds a little bit of light on if you're looking to get this this product here, if it's for you or not. Hopefully it helps you make the decision there to go ahead and try it out. I'd say for $50 you got nothing to lose, even if it's just a secondary device in a different room in the house that you want to try it out, or maybe you want to get it for when you travel and you want to be able to plug it in at other people's houses and things like that to be able to access your stuff there. It's a small device to be able to carry around, so for $50 it's not a bad idea to have. But alright guys, I want to thank everybody again for watching. Hopefully everyone out there is staying safe and staying healthy. Don't forget to follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Nerd Circle. If you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If there's anything I forgot to mention, I'll leave it in the description down below. Of course, if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't already subscribed, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the screen. Make sure to ring that bell so you get notified of any new videos to come out. You can also follow the links on the screen to get to the older videos. And until next time, guys, stay nerdy.